Hello, everyone. Welcome inside the Youth Baseball Midwest mobile studio. We're live here at the MSHSAA State Championships. We got Class 3 and 4 today. And joining me to start off the show, I've got some fine gentlemen from the city of Sullivan. Joined by Coach Whitson, Raiden Red, Chase Blue, and Drake Gower. First of all, congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
That's a big accomplishment.
It's huge.
As we get, we're going to be dealing with some rain today, as you can see. You want to scoot in, you're okay, buddy. Don't. It's going to be soggy. Coach, first off, congratulations. We were talking before we started here, just a short time with the program so far.
Yeah.
What's been the key to your success?
Really,
besides talent.
Yeah. Well, talent's huge. You can be the best coach in the world, and if you don't have any talent, then you're going to struggle.
Right.
I think the big thing is just consistency. Anytime we can have consistency within a program, you're going to be pretty solid. So, just a solid message the last 4 years, I think has been, a pretty good thing for us. And, obviously we've had some pretty good talent move through there as well. So, pitching's been a big thing for us the last several years too. We've had some pretty decent pitchers. One of them being right here. But we've also had a pretty good relief corps as well the last several years. So pitching's definitely going to be a big factor for us, regardless of the year, regardless of whenever it is we play. It's still going to be a big factor for us 10 years from now. So if you have good pitching, you're going to go ahead and go pretty far.
And at whatever level it plays, pitching, that's where you got to get to. Coach, talk about. I love the thought process of consistency.
Yeah.
It's one of my big sayings. You can ask these guys sitting here. I believe this. Consistency breeds success.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter the people as long as you got guys that understand how to come every day and set their mind to that consistency.
Yeah.
You're going to get the opportunities, right?
Absolutely. Again, for us, it's establishing the expectation of success. From these from Drake's freshman year, he's been able to know success since then. He's been able to pass that along to the underclassmen as they come up behind him. We have several other seniors. We have 9 seniors this year who've all been there, done that. This is our first time making it to the Final Four. But they all know what it's like to be in moments like this. They all know what it's like to go ahead and play in those moments. They're able to go ahead and explain that to the younger guys and be able to show them what it's like whenever it's their time. Then you have guys like Chase coming up. You have guys like Raiden coming up behind them. That all those guys have experienced success in high intensity moments. So that's going to go ahead and continue to breed success for us, just from being able to kind of share their experience, share what it's like to be in that moment. Consistency is definitely going to be huge, from the message all the way down to the players' expectations, and just kind of going from there.
Sophomore, Raiden Red. Young man, what's this experience been like for you?
It's experience pretty fun for me. Experience with this guy. And
you got to
Chase.
hold that mic closer. There you go.
Experience with Drake and then Chase, and it's pretty fun. It's a pretty solid team this year. So,
talk to us about your growth that way. What have you learned from these guys, and how does that help you?
I'm getting mature a little bit around them. Since freshman
They give
year.
you a little something in the ribs.
And it's been around for me.
Very good, very good. So what's your expectation today? What do you take away coming into this? How do you keep yourself in a place to, your mind in that same...
Just relax and have fun. Part of the game.
It's baseball, right? Yeah. So Chase Blue, Jr., you got a lot of young guys on this squad. Talk to us about your experience so far, buddy.
My experience has been great. Had a great coach, great teammates. Just can't wait for the last ride.
So when you're going through the grind of the regular season, thinking about this, what was your expectations? Where were your goals? How'd you guys get yourselves here?
I think we've been talking from the beginning. It's state chip or nothing. We've been trying to win it all.
Go big or go home,
yes,
right? Sir. So when you won that district and punched that ticket there, what was your mindset like then?
That we have the opportunity to keep going. We're earning more practices.
I love that. Right, because it isn't guaranteed, right? You still got to go out and keep playing. Yeah, I love that attitude. Mr. Drake Gower, you're pitching a lot here, right?
Yep. First Lutheran South went 6 innings. St. Clair semifinal game, went all 7. Been doing good.
Very good. So talk to us, as a senior, you don't want this ride to end, do you?
No. This is
Not till you hold a trophy, right?
the furthest we got. Like, obviously, we've been good last 4 years, but I think this is our best year, and we've had our best players this year, in my opinion. So I'm just excited it came down to this year, final year. Chase, Mitchell, Raiden, my little brother, is a freshman.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
That I love that stuff. That's neat. Talk to us about leadership for yourself. What does that mean, and how do you set yourself in that place going forward here?
Well, I think I try and lead by example more than, like, I don't really talk a lot or loudly, but I try and do my best to, like, show them what to do or show them how to do it right. Just be respectful about it, everything about it.
There you go. I like that. So I got at Texas Tech. Next step. You're not even thinking about that right now, though, are you?
One game at a time here. Yep.
I like that. What's keys to victory here for you guys?
I think just throwing strikes, doing what we've been doing the last couple games, like just throwing strikes, honestly.
Yeah.
Good defense behind me. We'll have a good lineup. I'm excited for the game.
Chase, you talk about the lineup. That bottom of the orders is as important as the top, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So how do you keep those guys motivated, keep them up and moving through that?
I think we keep them up and moving through that by every time we get off the field, we always talk about how hype it is. We just keep them going.
Absolutely. Mr. Red, what position do you play, young
I play
man?
right field.
Right field?
So,
Catcher, anybody? Where does he play?
Our catcher is Alex Taves, starting catcher. We also have Annan Carey, who's a senior that provides a lot of great leadership as well. So, Alex Taves is a junior for us this year. He's about as coachable kid as it comes. He'll do anything for you, run through a brick wall for you. Annan Carey's helped him out a ton this year as far as just learning the ins and outs of it too. So, sometimes, in order to be a good leadership, you have to sacrifice a little bit. And, Carey's done exactly that. He's helped out in whatever way that he can. And I still wouldn't be surprised when we see him on the field at some point in time the next couple games.
There you go. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure getting to meet you for the first time. Looking forward to seeing you play. Haven't seen you play yet either.
Yeah.
See, there you go. We run around the state, and I know there's more teams I haven't seen than I have seen.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of the way it works. But good luck to you, Coach. Again,
Appreciate
congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations, gentlemen. Good
Thank
luck
you.
to you. And you know the old saying, right?
What's that?
Hit them where they ain't.
It's true. We'll go ahead and try to accomplish that.
Cool.
There's no one beyond the fence, so we can go ahead and try to do that a little bit there too. It's
Boy,
a pretty high fence,
that's
though. It's a tall order.
That's a deep fence.
Yes, it is.
Honestly, Coach, I've seen two guys hit it out of this ballpark.
See, this ballpark's pretty big, but it's actually pretty familiar to us because our dimensions at home are 330 down the line, 375 in the power alleys, and 410 in center field. So it's Busch Stadium dimensions. So this isn't anything that we're not used to.
This is your ballpark.
Yeah, exactly.
Bigger fence.
You hit one out of here. You're
There's
a dude.
3 guys here who can do it. So
Sweet. All right, well, and right now the wind's blowing out the left field, ain't it?
absolutely.
There you go. All right, gentlemen, thank you very much.
Appreciate
I
it.
do appreciate it. Make sure we'll be back around. I'm sure we'll catch up with some more interviews and stuff throughout the couple days heading
Awesome.
toward championship. Good
Appreciate
luck to
it.
you.
Thanks,
You
guys.
can just kind of sit those over there. We're still live, so that's all right.
Okay.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you very much for your time, gentlemen. Thank you. We're gonna get Mr. Moulder over here at some point. You want to text him with my phone and say, "Hey, we're live. We're waiting on you." Did he walk? Okay, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get some stuff going, and we're gonna talk with him. I got to get this here. We're live. We're going. Yeah, I got my glasses full of rain here. We appreciate Sullivan, these guys coming by, chatting with us. Lauren, you want to grab that other stool for Mr. Moulder when he gets here, or Drew's gonna grab that. But yesterday, a couple teams punched some tickets for championships. And in the first one, the Class 1, that's Drew, our crack engineer. You hear his name a lot if you're watching our stuff, but that's Drew. He's working hard in the trailer there, getting you all the pictures. But Class 1 yesterday, Faith Christian Academy took on St. Elizabeth. Faith Christian, winner of District 15, head coach Luke Cassis. They took on St. Elizabeth. I said they lost 5-2. St. Elizabeth, District 9 champs, won the whole thing. Had some tough bowl games. First of all, Faith Christian won the District 9 or District 15 championship over Northland Christian in a heck of a ball game, 1-0. We knew that was going to be a tough one for them because, man, I'll tell you, that was quite the. Those two teams are very good. We had a chance to talk with head coach Dave Stearns during the season over there, and that's a very good situation. Chase Newton was 2 for 3 for Faith Christian, scored both runs. Parker Blanton was 1 for 2, and Will McMillan was, I'd say it was a sack fly. He had the lone RBI in the 7 innings. Over on the St. Elizabeth side, head coach Kaylor Heckmeyer, they got here by beating Northwest Hughesville 9-1, Wellington Napoleon 2-1, and then in the semi-Iran, they walked it off 7-6. We saw a little. I watched that game a little bit. That was a heck of a baseball game. And then you had yesterday in Class 2, Miller winning the state championship in Class 2, 7-1 over Eugene. Miller put up some runs. I got to go back to this. I'm sorry, folks. Music going crazy. I'm trying to get going here. I'm messing this all up. But St. Elizabeth, the winning pitcher for St. Elizabeth, Eli Kimna, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, only 1 earned, 10 Ks. And I was hoping to get Kevin over here and chat him up a little bit about this. And so hopefully we can, because I think he's talked about this young man before. Hopefully he's around. So there he is right there, Lauren. Lauren, go grab him. He's in the media work area there. If we can grab him, we'll get him over here. Because I want to talk to him about these guys, because I think he's talked about some of these pitchers and whatnot. But we'll go back over here. Miller, state champs. Snake is what it looks like here. 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run, 0 earned. So that it was 1 unearned run. He had 5 Ks for the win, complete game win for Miller. 25-5 on the season. Looks like the shortstop Lung was 1 for 2. He had 3 putouts. Nunez was 1 for 4 and an RBI. Snake, the pitcher, he was 2 for 3 with an RBI, helped his own cause. The bottom of the lineup did a lot of damage for this Miller squad. Second baseman Calvin 1 for 2 with a run scored. Hill, the right fielder, 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored. He had a walk and an RBI. Ferguson, the catcher, 1 for 3, 1 run and an RBI. So you can see it was the bottom of the order that really took that into that space. So as we're waiting on Kevin here, we're getting ready. It is raining out here, so I don't know how quickly they will start the ball game. We got Class 3 going on, and I'm going to grab this over here. And it looks like, yep, we've got I know that's Portageville down there. On the other side, we have Fairgrove. The Fairgrove Eagles taking on the Portageville Bulldogs. Fairgroves. Lauren, would you grab that right there for me? No, I want to hang on to this. I'm sorry. Yep. hand that microphone over. I know, right? How about the rain, huh?
Yeah.
Go ahead and have a seat.
I need to get my own copy of those.
We'll share for right now. Go ahead and have a seat, man. Take a load off. Hopefully it'll be a less soggy.
Who's the first game you?
Right here, we are live on, just so you know, Kevin.
Oh, great. Thank you, Brian.
You're welcome. I wanted to let you know. We started live with the folks from Sullivan. Coach Whitson came by with Drake Gower, Raiden Red, and Chase Blue.
You started out hot.
Right?
Yeah, it's the way to do it.
The sophomore is impressive. Raiden Red.
Yes. I saw Sullivan last week in the sectional game versus Lutheran South, and I was really impressed. And Lutheran South took him to the edge. Like that was a phenomenal honestly, like a huge rally. They were down 2-0 in the seventh, bottom of the seventh. It was a one-hitter for both teams.
Oh wow! Heading
into the seventh inning, and South scored 2 in the top of the inning, and Sullivan came back and scored 3 in the bottom of the seventh. So there's a lot of fight in that ball club, and they got one of the true aces in the state. We talk about that, where regardless of class, the best pitcher or the best player could be at one of the small schools. It's generally a depth issue, and Sullivan certainly has one of the top arms in the state, which we're going to get to see tonight at 4 p.m.
Absolutely. Mr. Gower came in here, and we had to get him a chair to sit
down. Big boy.
Oh, my goodness. He's a grown man. And, you've seen Mr. Gower pitch quite a few times. You've seen him at some events. Talk to us about this young man. He's got the demeanor, looks like, as well, Kevin.
Yeah, I remember him from a couple years ago, and this is one of the reasons I love my job is I remember him as a sophomore, and I'd never heard of him, nor had many others.
Right.
He came and did really well. I think he was like 87 or something. And he's, at the time he was probably 6'4" or 5. I think he's 6'6" now. You can kind of just tell he has the frame now. He's got good bloodlines too. His dad pitched professionally and actually pitched for Coach Tadlock when he was in junior college, and now Coach Tadlock's at Texas Tech. So it's kind of funny and that small, tight baseball circle there, and now he comes and signs his son. But he's just progressed, and, it's a power arm. He's legitimate low 90s up to 94, and still thinks he needs to do better. He needs to work on the breaking ball, but there's the stuff you can't coach. He has all of that.
Yeah. Just talking to those kids, Sullivan looks like they could be in play here. They're going to, it looks like, I think they got Logan Rogersville right off the get.
That's going to be a fun game because
I
really like Rogersville too.
Right. So, there's going to be some good baseball. I think that Class 4, Big 4 there, Sullivan, Logan Rogersville, Father Tolton, Chillicothe. Honestly, I didn't think Chillicothe was going to get there, but here they are.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, all you need is a ticket, right? Once you're in, anything can happen.
I don't know as much. I know Fair Grove has had a really good season this year. I believe I think they've only lost like a handful of games, if that. Yeah, 5 games. Portageville, the Bulldogs, they've been here before. I think we saw them here a couple of years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And, Holden, Fatima, the Comets.
Yeah.
Fatima's another team in the middle of the state that plays a tough schedule, don't they?
Yes, and typically those teams in the middle of the state do. I've noticed that just because they're playing the teams around. There's some bigger schools in that Columbia area, and they'll take on all comers. So pays off when you get into postseason play. You've been playing up in class, and now you're playing schools your own size, so you're used to playing a certain level. So it has paid off clearly for them this year.
And we saw that with the Class 1 state champions, St. Elizabeth.
And we talked about it in Oran. What a great game in the semifinals game, 7-6, 1-run ball game, and then Oran, who was also a state championship caliber team, came out and won by double digits in the third place game. So that kind of held true. We'd been talking about that one for a while.
Yeah.
Those were the two classes, the class of the 1A, those two ball clubs, and it, came to fruition down here in Springfield.
What's interesting is I know Oran's a little bit top-heavy class-wise as far as the kids moving on, but the one that St. Elizabeth is young.
Yes.
That's a talented team. It's not like we've been talking about this, as you said, for a while. Since 2018, either Oran or St. Elizabeth has won the state championship.
It will be interesting. I don't know the mechanics of the MSHSAA rule with sliding up and sliding down, if they're so small that they get to stay Class 1, but their resumes are starting to get pretty full, aren't they? Those trophy cases, they're expanding. They got a renovation down there.
And I don't think it's going to stop for St. Elizabeth. It doesn't look like it.
No, there's no signs of it slowing down, is it?
No. And so that's one. And again, when we talk about some of those schools around, they're in the Kansas City. St. Elizabeth drove over, jumped right in the middle of that Columbia.
And they more than held their own. That St. Elizabeth team is real. So
Coach Perkins even talked about them there. He says, that's a good baseball team.
Yes, yeah.
So, that's a team that we're going to be seeing a lot more of. Wheatland is one of those teams that's kind of perennially around that area. They finished in fourth place, and it was, it's right here in front of my face. Yes. Faith Christian Academy, which duked it out with Northland Christian Academy in that District 15. Two programs that I think are going to be around a little while at these levels, both private schools. So that has depending upon how much you win or lose, whatnot, championship points.
Yeah.
So, and we talked with head coach David Starnes at Northland. These two programs are young as well, and I think going to be around a little while.
That's always exciting when you have a good year and you do it with young guys, because it points to a bright future.
Absolutely. And so I think we got. I don't know if you've seen this young man for St. Elizabeth, but Eli Kemna.
Oh yeah, Eli.
Talk about him.
Eli's a really good player, obviously a two-way talent for St. Elizabeth. And at that class, you kind of see, hey, a guy's going to play quarterback, guard on the basketball team, and then come out and be the shortstop and pitcher. That's kind of Eli Kemna. I have no clue if he plays quarterback. But the point is, at the small school, you see the top athletes do that sort of thing. And Eli's the guy that we have ranked in the top 60 or so players in the state in his class. So that would be a good player for Francis Howell or Staley or Blue Spring South, Zumwalt West, you name it. One of the top big Vianney. Eli Kemna can play with anybody.
It looks like he's got a brother that plays shortstop, who was 1 for 3 with a ribby. But Kemna's line: 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 10 Ks, and only 1 base on balls.
It's impressive.
In a championship game, you only give up 1 free base like that. And they had 1 error, so you had only 2 free bases. That's going to win a lot of ball games.
Yeah, and that's a common theme that'll just stick with us all week down here. It's, these teams are all really talented.
Yeah.
They're all really good.
Yeah.
It's which team can settle in. And the pitchers they're going to trot out are going to be good, but you got to get them to slow their heart rate down.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, you need a good start, because sometimes you'll find kids that will, get a little excited and walk a couple, 3-4 guys early in a ball game, or you might see a drop fly ball or a shortstop kick a ball, etc. The teams that can settle in and play their game that they've played all season long are the ones that are going to be successful. But it's almost a guarantee that will happen. You see it every single year, whether that's in this state playoffs or in a regional in college baseball. Kids get sped up a little bit in this you got to make it as routine as possible.
Congratulations to St. Elizabeth, and congratulations to Miller. Now, Miller's a team I have no idea about. I don't know. They're, I think, Kansas City side, right?
Yes, yeah.
Have you seen them much, Kevin?
I have not.
Yeah.
As you know, it gets hard to see all the classes and all the teams, but I follow them.
Yeah, Eugene is another program that's been around the state championships a lot. We've seen their name up there playing well, 25-9. But congratulations to Miller. Snake, it looks like his name there. Yeah. 7 innings, another complete game. 2 hits, 1 run, not earned. Gave up 3 walks.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah.
3 walks over 7.
In a 7-inning game. That's you're not, and they had the error. So, and you don't know where that error was if it did allow base runner. But if you only give up 4 free bases in 7 innings in high school baseball, you're going to have a good opportunity to win a ball game, Kevin.
Absolutely, yes.
So, congrats to those guys. Again, like I said, here we go. We're starting off Portageville. I'm going to get over here. It's a little soggy. I think we got about 95% humidity here.
At least it's in the 70s.
Yeah. Listen, the team that I thought was going to really come out of this was West County, the West County Bulldogs south of us. Portageville, though, gets through them. I think that's a huge deal. They beat, in Class 1 district, they beat Clarkton, looks like, and Twin Rivers. Then beat Greenville, and a big win, and that's the team that, down south there of Fenton, they beat Valley Park in the quarterfinal 8-5.
And Valley Park had a really nice season and has some really good players. So that's tells you Portageville is real.
Absolutely. The Fatima Comets, I always think of, I'm sorry, I can't help it, Fatima. But I got to keep myself from not saying that. It's Fatima. They got here by beating Dixon and Bell in District 8. Then in the sectionals, beat a very good North Callaway team. They are, and they beat them 4-0, and then Priory didn't have much of a district getting into there. They got beat 7-0. Little easier gig there. Yeah. On the other side, Fairgrove, another good quality team in the, that's put up
Southwest area.
Yeah. Beat Seymour and Ava 7-6. Ava is always a solid program down here in the Southwest.
Love Ava. Been through Ava multiple times. It's one of my favorite parts of Missouri. And yes, they have had a very competitive baseball program.
I've been in Ava quite a few times. I had an uncle that owned a restaurant in Ava for like 30 years.
Okay. I got my second ever dog when I was young from a place in Ava.
There you
go. From a farm in Ava. So Ava's a special place in my heart.
There you go. And then this is, to me, Fairgrove had a tough one with Seymour, Ava. A lot of close ball games, 6-5, 7-6. Then they had to beat Licking.
And yes, Licking was here last year.
Yep. Harv Antle, the head coach.
Coach Antle does a great job. Recruited one of his boys. He went on to have a good career at Ohio University through Jeffco. But yeah, Coach Antle does a great job. So that's
4-3, man.
Yeah.
And then they finally got it to get quarterfinals, beat Clever 11-5, and that got them here. Holden, District 13, 12-7 over Sherwood. They beat Windsor 2-1, and that was the big upset.
Sorry, I'm watching these kids go out in the rain, and I'm not sure the strategy here. The rain has picked up, and
it's going to be off and on like this. It's going to be tough.
We have one team practicing base running in the rain. It's going to get wet.
Sorry, but Holden here is the surprise to me. They had the big upset against Lone Jack.
Yes, and Lone Jack was one of, if not the top small school in the state, and have one of the best pitchers Ethan Rogers is going to be a draft most likely here in about a month.
And it wasn't just Ethan Rogers.
No, it was more.
Was
good. Yes, good top to bottom.
Yep.
So, yeah, that to say that wasn't a little bit of a surprise would be hard.
I agree. And then they took care of West Platte 9-0 in the quarters to get here. So, and then on the other side, Class 4 that we're going to see later today, starting with Sullivan.
Yeah, Sullivan took care of St. Clair. Drake Gower, I believe, threw a no-hitter in that ball game for a 5-0 win. And then, it goes to show their depth because I saw that game and I thought, well, we'll see if they have more than Drake. And then they took care of Owensville in a tight, low-scoring game, 3-1. And then we already talked about the Lutheran South thriller where they won the sectional game. And then in the quarterfinals, they topped Perryville 11-5. And Perryville had a nice season.
Yes, they did. Beat DeSoto in the district championship, which I thought DeSoto would take care of. But, there you go.
Yes. And then another team that's been on all of our radars all season, Father Tolton Catholic, who, if we go back to the central part of the state, a team that plays up in class.
Yep.
They challenge themselves. They've won state championships, led by Lucas Wiederholder, who was starting for them as a freshman when they won their, back when he was a freshman. He's, of course, a senior now, committed to St. Louis, or signed with St. Louis University. They went through Wright City in Fulton in relatively easy fashion.
I know, and that was what surprised me.
And Fulton's a good ball club.
Yeah.
But kind of speaks to the strength of Tolton. Then in what I consider a heavyweight matchup, because we talked about Moberly. This was your squad, so I know this hits hard. But they could have won state.
Yeah,
and that's just one of those things. It's like District 8 and Class 6. It's like, well, the state champion has come out of there the last 4 years. So, hey, Liberty North or Liberty or Saley didn't make it out of district. That doesn't make them a bad team.
No.
It's just a tough draw.
That's right.
And that's what I would say about Moberly.
Sectional.
And that was sectional. Now the class, their formatting is different at this. So you look at Moberly, and I just say, hey, you had a great year. You ran into a team that, those two teams could have met in the state finals. As far as I'm concerned, that's how it was mapped out. And then they, you go and you can say this very similar thing about MICDS, who they beat 5-4 in 9 innings, so win a couple extra innings. And MICDS, I would say the same thing about them as I just did Moberly. They were here last year. They could easily be in this Final Four. Now, again, it's path, so that's a brutal draw.
Look, we had Fulton, Moberly, and MICDS in our top 10 rankings.
Yeah.
So they've already beat 3 of the top 10 teams in the state just to get here.
Yes. Now, do I think Sullivan and Logan Rogersville are right there with? Of course I do.
Yes.
So it's just interesting the path. But yeah, Tolton Catholic.
That's a gauntlet.
Yeah, they have run the gauntlet, and we'll see where that leaves them today. Other than for sure they've been battle tested.
Yeah, buddy. And then on the other side, we got Logan Rogersville. How'd they get here?
They took care of Mountain Grove in the first game. Then they beat Hollister in a fairly tight game, who we've seen here in the past.
Yeah, Hollister's a good program.
Then they topped Seneca 5-1 in
which
the sectional.
Another very good team.
Yes.
Yep.
And then Blair Oaks was one of the top small school teams in the state in a very tight game, 3-2. Now I know Blair Oaks didn't have a great record, but they never do because they always play. They might as well. They consider themselves a Class 6 team basically during the regular season. They'll play anybody. So which is a credit to them, and so you can't ever get caught up in them being 16-15, where another team might be 24-1.
Exactly. Another couple of Seneca. I think we had them right around 10 or 8, somewhere in that range. Another top 10 team. Same with Blair Oaks. So again, this is what I love about this. You're not seeing these teams get here just blowing people out. You got to play some really good competition to get here.
Absolutely, and this Rogersville team is a young team.
Yes.
Nate Eakins, Jack Sutherland. They have a really young team, so this is exciting for them to be here. And my guess is it won't be the last time we see them here over the next couple of years.
Probably not, man. Probably not.
Great new facility, by the way, as well.
I know we're going to have to do that. We got to travel around and find the top 5 facilities.
We need to have maybe a winter project, like a show talking about the best venues in the state. But Rogersville is right up there. That Springfield area does a great job with their baseball facilities.
Absolutely. So Chillicothe, the last one we got here.
Coming in at 21-12 on the year. They beat Lafayette out of St. Joseph's.
Yep.
Then they beat the Savannah Bananas. Just kidding. They beat Savannah, though.
No, but a better one, they're the Savages. It's
that
the
is
Savannah
great.
Savages, which I had Savannah moving on there.
And they would be in our power rankings for best nicknames in the state, like clear top 5.
Absolutely, man.
And then they beat Benton, which is a team that's been on everyone's radar and a super talented group with Coach Coy.
And when we talked about Benton at the beginning of the season, we talked about them as a potential state championship contender. And they were. They have that talent. They were here last year. And they just seemed to. I think they got hot at the end, just couldn't quite finish it.
Yeah, and it was good game, 5-3, and that's the thing about the lower levels. They play single elimination, even past district, and then they took down Pleasant Hill in a 11-inning 2-1 ball game. And Pleasant Hill also had a phenomenal year.
Yeah, and there was some teams in there that I thought might be, in Pembroke Hill,
so
of that area.
We did talk about this. Some years, certain classes are really strong. To me, Class 4, really strong because, we just talked about a bunch of teams in the sectional and quarterfinals that were like, hey, that team could have been a state championship team, and we did that. And we're not just being nice. The depth of Class 4 is...
It was bigger than Class 5.
Easily, yes. The depth. I'm not saying the number 1 Class 5
agreed
versus the number 1 4. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about the overall depth. Class 4 is really strong this year. It's a standout class this year to me.
We could have seen a lot of these teams here today that lost those games easily.
Yes.
Easily. Just, and like I said, when you got one game to play, it's tough.
It's a baseball game.
Absolutely.
The Rockies have some wins this year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what do you think here? What are you seeing with this Class 4?
Class 4, I am fired up for tonight's matchup.
I'm telling you.
Tolton Catholic versus Sullivan and Drake Gower on the mound. That is going to be a ton of fun. And then Rogersville and Chillicothe. This is going to be a fun evening.
Logan Rogersville's playing Sullivan. That's right.
Goodness.
The way that works.
Okay. Yeah, my fault.
It's kind of, they do that. I know it gets confusing with me too. So you got Sullivan versus Logan Rogersville, Tolton versus Chillicothe. This would be huge, man. I think I like Sullivan, and you got Logan Rogersville going to have to deal with Drake Gower, and I don't care. That kid's going to give you a chance to win a ball game.
Absolutely. Now, what Lutheran South did to him the other day was they did not beat him, but they took the lead once he was out. So they outlasted him, drove his pitch count up. He was able to get through 5 2/3. What Drake Gower is going to do tonight is he's going to strike out a bunch of guys. So his pitch count is going to go up. And if he, gets some 2-ball counts, 3-ball counts, walks occasional guy or two, if you can outlast Gower, get to the bullpen late, that's kind of the recipe. Either that, or you got to come in and just win a low-scoring 1-0, 2-1 type game.
Right. Who do you see on the bump for Rogersville? Who do you think Coach is going to go with there, Kevin?
That will be have to believe it would be Charles Greer, who's 10-3 on the year with 52 innings and a 1.6 ERA. So,
Runs are a
slouch.
premium.
Yes, it's going to be a quick ball game, I would have to figure, unless we can't score a run and we play all night, right?
Which could happen. Oh, mercy. That's the thing about this stuff here. I don't know as much about Chillicothe. That's the tough thing there. Father Tolton, we've seen them. The Wheat Holder kid going to SLU. Matthew States, also a young man that we've seen with this team. But again, here's another team, though, that isn't – they got some seniors, but they got a lot of young kids as well.
Yes. Some senior leadership at the top, but a lot of young guys. And you do see that, especially at the smaller schools. Freshmen and sophomores are more often major contributors.
Drake Gower was talking about getting to play with his younger brother because his younger brother's a freshman here on the team. I think that's a cool thing, don't you?
Very cool. Very cool.
We see a couple years ago there was a pitcher throwing. His brother was the catcher. Yeah.
Yes. They had 3 boys, all in the infield.
Didn't we see one here in the state championship though? His brother was catching and the other brother was on the mound. I'm trying to see. There you go. I can't. It's the gray hair, man. I can't remember anything anymore. Gosh, I'm trying to think about that. We'll come back. We're getting ready to start some baseball over here. The sun, hopefully we get a break in some of this rain. It's not been horrible rain, but it's going to be a bit soggy here today.
We're going to be able to make it through today.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's going to be off and on. Hopefully we'll do that. But Fairgrove's getting ready to take on Portageville. Then Fatima and Holden play, and then the afternoon 4 and 7. We have a couple big heavyweight fights.
Yes.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But Kevin, we'll be talking with Kevin throughout the day. We'll have more interviews. I hope you enjoyed that one with the guys from Sullivan. That was a lot of fun. We're going to be talking to coaches and players throughout the day. We're going to be watching some baseball. So make sure you are subscribed here. Make sure you follow us on X, Instagram, Facebook. Oh, we got Anthem going on. Sorry, folks. I'm gonna take my hat off at least. We'll do that. We're not gonna. But Kevin, tell the folks where they can follow you.
Moulder at Prep Baseball, or follow us on Twitter at Prep Baseball Missouri.
There you go. It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun. This is always one of my favorite weeks of the season. Culmination of a lot of hard work and dedication over years for these kids. So really cool event and great reward no matter the outcome. Just getting here is a major success and something these kids will remember for the rest of their lives. And we're going to crown some champions this week. So a lot of fun. Absolutely. Folks, make sure you stay tuned. Follow us. We appreciate it. Youth Baseball Midwest here at the state championships all week, the rest of the week through Saturday, culminating with the Class 6 state championships. Stay tuned.